All right, everybody. Well, let's see if I can log in. Facebook keeps kicking me out. Okay. Well, I'll just have to do this without looking at my iPad today. So, I apologize if there is a shadow or a glare or anything like that. And of course, I can't see anybody who's on. So, it's just been a kind of crazy day this morning. I've been dealing with some issues with my bank account. So, I'd say let's just play. I'm going to get my jelly plate out. And something that I've seen people doing that I haven't done yet, and I kind of want to try, so we'll just do it today because why not, is using alcohol inks on the gel plate. Now, I don't have any alcohol inks available for sale right now because alcohol ink is tricky because you have to have a special way to send it. You have to mail it ground shipping because it's alcohol ink and it's highly flammable, and so you're not supposed to send it on an airplane. And that causes it to be an additional $7 charge for ground shipping. It's just straight up $7. And so to mail, if you buy one bottle of alcohol ink, it's like $3.85 or whatever it is. And then I can't give you free shipping. I mean, even if you bought a $15, even if you did $30 to get the free shipping, yeah, if you spent $5, I don't know. It just, maybe before I adjusted my pricing, it didn't make sense to have it. So I have some alcohol inks for sale, but I don't have them listed because I just was trying to figure out if I could just sell them locally or something. But if you're really interested in alcohol inks and you want to buy some, let me know. I have a few. I can let you know what I have. But these are the ones that I've gotten for myself from the store. And just one moment, please, while I dig through some other things here. I can't believe that my tablet won't let me, my iPad won't let me log in. All right, I have more in here. So, but I think they're just kind of used like normal inks, except that they're alcohol, so they smell weird. They have a very strong smell to them. And I don't have any purples, but I have a pink and a blue. So let's see what happens if we do a pink and a blue to make a purple. I don't know if there's anybody online watching. If you are, please say hello, and hopefully I'll see your comment. I don't know if I will or not, and I apologize if there's any kind of a really bad shadow. Okay, let me grab some paper. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna use my slightly heavier paper. This is from the copy. It's a copy paper, but it's a little heavier. What weight is it? Oh, come on. I think it's 32 pound weight for this. Hi, Sharon. I'm so glad you could join me. I'm sorry I'm in a mood because I was on the phone with the customer service people for the bank, credit union, and then I got disconnected. So that was kind of frustrating. And they didn't call me back. You know, that's just so frustrating when they don't call you back. Okay, so we're going to do alcohol ink on the gel plate. We're going to do... Finally found me, yeah. I saw you liked the page, so you can get notifications. All right, so I'm just doing alcohol ink on my gel plate. No idea what I'm going to get out of it. I've seen people doing it, and I want to try it. So I know alcohol ink is definitely more translucent. It can actually stain the plate a little bit, but that's okay. I don't care. And it does smell because it's alcohol. So we'll see what happens. It's not going to really sit on the plate the same way that, ooh, that's some nice purples, that, you know, normally it's just going to be all purple today. That normal ink would or normal paint would, because it's alcohol ink is looking for a place to soak in, and really there's no place to soak in this for this case. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, so that looks pretty. I think you have to work really fast or else it just sinks into the plate. We'll see. I don't know. Like I said, I just saw somebody doing it and I thought that looks kind of neat. Let me try it. So there's some fun alcohol ink. So Tim Holtz, my favorite, one of my favorite Ranger designers. I also like Dina Weekly. I really like this, right? That's really cool. But it definitely blended together really well. What did I was going to say? Oh yeah, he has a new fabric coming out. And I've hesitated to buy any fabric because there's been some issues. Also, I'm a quilter first, so fabric is my first love, but there's been some issues as far as supply issues because of COVID and issues from China and things like that. So I have just been hesitant to even open an account with, ooh, that's just soaking right through. That's interesting. So I've been hesitant to open any sort of an account with the fabric people because of the whole situation with supply. And so, okay, I like that, but I don't, that's the weird part. Like, okay, let's see. This is what they normally would do. They would normally put, let me get focused here. A little bit at the top and a little bit at the bottom. And she would do this. I'm trying to remember what I saw in the video. And then she'd do this. And of course it's smeared, so it turned everything purple. Okay, so there have been some issues with supply, and I just am hesitant to go into that world if I don't feel confident that I can get the product, you know, because it's an investment, especially opening an account. But his fabric, his new fabric right now, looks like he did alcohol ink and it's printed, and you can see all of the blendiness of the alcohol ink. So that's what his Tim Holtz's new stuff looks like. I don't know what would happen if I tried putting blending solution on here. I think that would probably not be the best idea. This is a little more darker purple because darker blue, because it's blue with purple. There's still some pink on there, I think, but it's a little more blue. Normally when you do alcohol ink, you would use a more glossy paper, or even, oh, I have, let me try this. I have photo paper. I thought I would try that because it's very glossy. Let me try photo paper and see what that does. So, so that was really kind of pretty. That different designs. I mean, it's a different world here. Just trying to play with the different, see what happens, right? Part of the fun about alcohol inks is that they move so easily. Usually when you're working on a glossy surface, you would just drop the ink right on it. And so it moves around, and you can, I guess it's similar to like a paint pouring. Ooh, probably not, that probably wasn't a good idea. My glossy paper does not want to, it wants to stick to my gel plate. That's not a good idea. I don't like that. Wow. Okay, pulled up some of the stuff off the back. I don't think that was a good idea. I will not recommend putting glossy paper on a gel plate. Glossy photo paper on a gel plate. Hi, Michelle. Welcome to my live playing with alcohol ink and gel plate today. Let's see. What have we got? Let's try something that's not going to be too bad with the purple that's already on there. Let's do this one, which is pistachio. I've not done this before. I've never played with alcohol inks before, so I have, but not on a gel plate. So it's all kind of figure it out, and that looks very purple. So apparently the purple was the dominant color here. All right, that's pretty much it. It didn't really pull up anything. I thought the green would have really come out, but the green didn't come out. It just kind of blended in. Let's try it again. It's just one of these weird days. Come on, green. This time I won't, maybe I won't really wipe it around. Maybe I'll just let it. If I do that though, it'll really just soak into the paper. It's really soaking into the plate actually. Ooh. Purple and green are not really friendly. They're a little bit friendly, but they're not really like blending friendly. Okay. It's like lily pads, kind of. And I'm okay that it did that to the plate. I don't care. If it stains the plate a little bit, that's not a big deal. It might come up a little bit later. I don't know. I don't know why this one is doing that more than the purples and the blues did. But, you know, that's just something that we'll never really know. This one's called Limeade. See, it just goes straight through if you don't, also, this isn't super heavy paper. So if you just put it on the plate and put your paper straight down, you get some really kind of interesting effect. If you actually use a brayer on it, it will smear it around. Which is what a brayer would normally, you would expect a brayer to do, right? Smear it around. Still a lot of purple in there. I feel like the blue's gone now. So I usually have another book or paper of some sort around, and that's my clean it off paper for my brayer. I have a book, I usually call it a mop it up journal. That's some purple. Just really wants to pull the purple. Today I'm just using a piece of paper to do that. And it can get you some really interesting effects. And sometimes the cleaning it off page is more fun than the page that you actually started with. Would alcohol clean the plate? I don't know. I don't think so. I know what they sell, like, I've heard, baby oil, and there's actually like a gel plate conditioner or a baby wipe, which I don't know what baby wipes have really in them. But alcohol ink tends to, the ink tends to stain it. I don't know if, ooh, that's an interesting purpley orange color. See, I wasn't expecting that, but because there's so much of the purple color in there, it really brought out the purple to the orange. So I don't usually clean my gel plate. I just use more paint and it pulls up whatever's on there. Like the yellow that's on there, which is the one called Lemonade or Limeade that I used. Like, it's there, but it's not going to hurt anything. It's not coming up at all. Oh, hand sanitizer. Yeah, I have heard that too. And that does have alcohol in it. So maybe I think it's more, honestly, I have some baby wipes somewhere. I don't really know where they are. But, I have a spray bottle of alcohol too. This is, I've used just normal isopropyl alcohol. Probably supposed to use a different strength. And I don't think there's really any need to shake it. But I really looked into how to clean it. Like I said, I don't normally clean my plate. I just put more paint down and it cleans it. Or I'll use like the alcohol is what helps move the ink around on the plate. And it just soaks straight through the paper. If I had my other paper, I probably would use like more of a, that's kind of pretty, like a heavier paper. Normally I don't use alcohol ink on normal paper, but those are kind of neat. I like those textures. I think those would look really cool on a fabric as a fabric background. So. Normally if I want to clean my plate, I'll just use like tape, but that's usually for like acrylic. So this could just be stained. That's fine. I don't really care. I don't think anything is really gonna clean it off. That's just alcohol. As far as that lemonade goes, ooh, that's pretty. It's definitely a fun smell. It smells like alcohol. It smells like rubbing alcohol. But the purple, the red, that came up, the green or limeade, pretty much just soaked right in, which is fine. You know, that's okay. This is really pretty though. I really like that. What was that? That was like the purpley and then the orange. Valencia. Paper. What would I use the paper for? I would use them for collage. And backgrounds. I mean, if you could use them. I've seen people using them for like the backgrounds of a card. Or, you know, you can just use it however you really want to. But I would use it mostly for, I have a box, I have a drawer over in my, I have a whole cabinet of drawers or one of those tower of drawer things. And I just put all my gel printed paper in there. And when I'm working on something, I'll just grab a bunch of paper. That came out really pretty. I love that color. Sometimes I just use the papers in a book. Like this is gel plate printed, but it's just copy paper. Sometimes I put them in a book as a background, or sometimes I'll use them as for collage. A lot of times now, because I'm doing a lot more collage lately. Because almost everything I do with paint, I do it on a plate. I use a plate for it. Like I think that's stencil. Most of this is gel plate printed papers. So I really like that Valencia. That's a pretty color. So yeah. Just gonna keep playing. Like I said, I just have, I don't really have these in the store because of the fact that you have to ship them via ground shipping. So there's extra charge. I mean, I do have like Copic refills, and those are alcohol ink, and those have a standard $7 charge. But if you buy more than one, it still only charges $7. So, you know, I'm okay with reactivating the inks. I didn't want anybody to be confused why they were being charged, and I didn't feel right when I was offering free shipping at $15. It was just difficult to cover the $7 charge. most of the time, if your order is under 15 or now 30, I can cover, if you pay $5, it really offsets the cost of shipping. But with this, you know, like I said, if you buy a $3 bottle of ink and then you pay $5 to ship it and it costs me $7 to ship it, I make nothing. I actually lose money on that deal. So there wasn't really any way I can sell them as, you know, if I sold them as a bundle and you have to buy 2 or 3 at a time, that could work. And why would you ever just want one color? I don't know. You need to, I think you should have at least 2 or 3. Cat hair always makes an interesting addition to your gel plate printing, because then you end up with some really interesting lines. And my cat likes to be involved in everything, so yep. And I don't have any like directly purple ink. This one is raspberry. It's close to purple, but I was mixing the blue and the pink and getting a really pretty purple color. Just so you know. And I agree with you, Sharon. These would be very pretty backgrounds. So let's see. These make very pretty backgrounds. This is a blue. It's called turquoise, which is one of my favorite colors. And I think raspberry. Did not make purple. What did I do earlier to make purple? I don't remember. Must not have been that color. Should really pay more attention. Oh, see, there we go. There's a purple. You see that? Sometimes you can just use your plate as a palette for mixing the colors, and then you can just brayer it onto your paper, and it comes out looking pretty cool. Like this one, where I did that print earlier. Oh, it didn't really pull because I think it dried out too quick. That's the other problem, is it can dry. Let's see what happens if we sprinkle some water on, or some alcohol. Ooh, that's kind of neat looking. Some alcohol on it. The fun part is when you have no clue what you're doing, you just play and you just see how it goes. And that's what I like to do. I just like to play. Ooh, look at that. That's kind of fun. Okay, so yeah, so normally like you would, if you were playing with the alcohol ink, you know, you would be using a glossy kind of paper or alcohol mat, like a board. That's what I did when I was first trying to figure out alcohol. You can buy this like alcohol board. Actually, this is double-sided, so I could actually do it on the back. But it's kind of a glossy paint, and then you just throw the alcohol ink on there, and then you use like either a rubbing alcohol or a solution, a blending solution, which my understanding is this actually includes alcohol in it. So this causes the inks to move around a lot more too. It will lighten or blend or even remove your alcohol ink. So I have a mixative that is a rose gold, and it will sit on top of the ink. And now the problem with when you're gel plate printing is that what you see there, like we saw that red and orange, although that could just be the background popping up, but it doesn't, that's not necessarily what you're going to see when you pull the print. It's like the opposite. It's backwards. So what you see on the top, especially if you're using any sort of acrylic paint, is you're seeing the lowest layer that's going to end up facing the paper, and then what you see on the top is really going to be closer to what you see if you flip it over. Now with this one being dyed yellow, who knows what colors you're going to get. Like this, we could get this really interesting design, which doesn't look purple at all when it's on the plate because of that yellow, which is kind of a bummer, but that's okay. I go with the flow here. That's what I do. I really like how that looked when I sprayed the ink on it, or the the alcohol on it. See, it looks very orange, but that's because of the yellow, I think, in the background. Keep saying that, but processing it. And then let's do what we did a minute ago. Spritz it with some alcohol. And then that causes it to kind of move around. And then just throw it down on the paper. And put another paper on top because it's going to soak through. Like I said, this is 32 pounds. So if you, you could probably, ooh, that's really pretty. That's more like what alcohol ink is going to look like. Is it unfrozen now? My phone like froze for a second. Is it unfrozen now? Isn't that pretty? That's even more fun than what I was doing a minute ago. Glad I tried the alcohol in there. Let's try Valencia. That's my new favorite. Okay. All right. Spray with some alcohol. I hope that nobody who's a real purist is going to say, oh my gosh, you're doing something wrong. You know what? I don't care. Is the alcohol 91? I don't know. It is isopropyl rubbing alcohol. So I don't even know if that's right. It's rubbing alcohol like you would put on, you know, you'd get from the place. What's it called? From like the pharmacy, like CVS or something. I mean, we were using it. I have it in a spray bottle, so if my son scrapes his knee or something, I can just spray it with alcohol. So that's really pretty. I like how that came out. Yay, happy accident. This is fun. And it's not the fumes getting to me either. It really is fun. It might be the fumes, but we're supposed to do this in a well-ventilated area. Okay, I also have, these are not something from the store. These are just something I bought probably at Tuesday morning. There is wrong. There's no wrong one. I know. I'm doing me. That's what I do. Let me see if I can open this. It's actually very similar. It looks very similar to the one from... I want to try it just because it's got a little bit bigger lid. But that's not why I want to try it. I want to try it because I have it. And I, you know, honestly, like I said, I don't have these even... Yeah, exactly, it's an oops. I don't have these even in my store yet. I'd have to go activate the listings for the inks. I'd have to go flip those on. I just wanted to play. So these are old and I've had them and let me just use what I have. And Sharon, like you said, yes, it's an oops. And I like oopses and I don't think I ever have any not oopses. So I don't know what you have if you have a non-oops. It's like an intentional thing, but I don't ever have intentional things. Ooh, that's very pretty. Very dark purple. Okay. Can't stop spritzing with the alcohol. Okay, so if you're interested in it, you should check out, if you want to do gel plate printing, or anything like that. So Brigitte Coops, I think it's Brigitte, Cooperson is doing a 30-day challenge. Ooh. So the colors are different because there's blue in there, and but it's still some purples. But it's a little different in vibrancy between the Brie Reese and the Ranger ones from Tim Holtz. Are these Tim Holtz? They're just alcohol ink from Ranger. Very pretty though. And I won't leave that in the same one. I'll probably rip them apart. Tuesday morning. Yeah, so I know Tuesday morning is... I have to stay away from Tuesday morning because I will go spend a lot of money on stuff there that I should be buying for my store. And so... and they sell a lot of the same things that I sell, and it's frustrating to me. But yeah, a lot of them closed, I think, because of they were having some supply issues with COVID. When you don't have people out, they're a closeout store, right? So you don't have people out buying things, then you don't have stores that have overstock, and then Tuesday morning ends up not having as much stuff to sell. So that's kind of how I've kind of viewed it. So remember, this is just my paper that I've been using to clean off my brayer. So it looks pretty cool. Some of my under paper too is fun. I always say when you gel print and gel plate print, you really need to have a lot of space so that you can put your papers out and to dry. Luckily, these are alcohol ink. They're almost immediately dry. So they dry very quickly because of the way alcohol is. And so here's another one that I just love, that Valencia. That's like my new favorite. It's like a corally orange color, and I'm not really an orange color kind of person, but I really like that. Here's some purples with greens that I did earlier. This was like the first one I did. Going through this really fast. Yeah, yeah, I'll go to like Tuesday morning, and now TJ Maxx is a bad one for me. And I actually went to Hobby Lobby the other day and bought some stuff because it's something I know I can't buy anywhere else. And oh, on a canvas, yeah, that would, I don't know how that would work. Maybe I could just collage it onto a canvas. Like maybe I could, oh, the Valencia one. Maybe I could because I don't know how I would gel plate it on. Maybe I could flip the gel plate over like a stamp. I like to do that sometimes. I'll have to try to see if I can figure that out. I have some small canvases around. I just don't think it'll end up looking the same, but that's fine. You have to embrace that when you're doing gel plate printing. You have to embrace the unexpected. But yeah, so I try not to go to Tuesday morning anymore because I get in trouble there. I find things that are older. Like, I found some chipboard sticker things, and they're older, so I can't buy them for my store at all because, like I said, they're closeout. They're selling the stuff that's been discontinued, that's no longer available to anybody really to buy. And so, as far as vendors, which I wish I had the access to buy those things. I don't know how anybody would. I think they just buy them in the quantities they buy them, so they're able to get them. But it was like a Halloween one or something, and I bought it because I'd seen a few people that were really excited about Halloween stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, I'll resell this. And then I could never figure out how to get the image to get it to sell it, and then I was like, I don't feel right selling something, reselling it from there, so I just quit. I didn't do it. I kept it, and I haven't done anything with it, and I have like 4 or 5 of them. So I bought a whole bunch, and I was like, yeah, I can, you know, put these in the store. Ooh, that's pretty. That was a pretty purple color. Yeah, nothing mono about mono printing. It is gonna keep going. Never want to stop. Oops. Sprayed that one right onto the paper. So Carolyn Doobie puts in her group once a week. She's like, what's something that you've been hoarding, that you've never tried using, that you really could use and play with and get that supply out and use it? And you know, the funny part is that now that I do these lives and stuff, I don't have very much stuff that I'm not using. I'm using a lot. Like even the alcohol inks is probably something I've been wanting to use for a while, but haven't because I don't have them in the store. So it's hard for me to want to show them, but I can put them, like I said, I'll put them on. I'll turn them on after I finish with this live. So if you guys are interested, you can go check it out. That's kind of neat how it overlapped with the purple. So you get an interesting transparency in the colors. Also, where the bubbles are is where the alcohol was. So that causes you to be able to see what's behind it. So gesso glue on the canvas. Gesso glue it on. Yeah. I don't know. I never find that Gesso's very gluish, but I understand what you're saying. I think I could use matte medium or something and collage it onto the background. It would make really cool backgrounds. I think you're right. Yeah, the alcohol, Sharon, it's making the bubbles. When I spray it, if I don't spray it, then I just end up with more of a effect kind of like that. That's the smeared effect of it. It almost looks like rock. Stone wall, I think. But you would kind of get this effect from just plain acrylic, but it wouldn't soak into the paper as much. I am all about anticipating what you're thinking, Sharon. Isn't that creepy though? No, it's not. So yeah, this is just from the brayer. Well, this is a brayer straight on the paper. This is printed from the brayer printing, I think. Maybe not. I can't remember anymore. I don't care. Do you care? Yeah, I think this is just flat on the paper. Let's try it. Just to be sure. Oh, it doesn't look like anything. And that looks very purple. Why does that look purple? Come on, blue, turquoise, you gotta show up for me. Okay, let's try this again. I think it actually needs to be shaken up. Oh yeah, cool. You're in Nacogdoches? Yeah, that is really close. I think an hour away or something, which in Texas, an hour is like nothing. In some states, an hour is like a whole nother state, but in Texas, an hour is like barely to the next town. Ooh, pretty. That came out pretty. The turquoise really showed up that time. There must be a lot of alcohol still left on the plate. Yep, you just gotta keep, I think we just gotta keep throwing ink at it and see what happens. Okay, guys, yeah, I'm gonna sign off pretty soon, I think. I'm glad I did this, though. I was in a bad mood from my earlier thing with my bank. So I'm glad that I came on here and decided to try out. Ooh, let's see what that looks like. Throwing some alcohol paint ink on the plate today. And if you're interested, the sale is still going on until Sunday, March 16th. But you guys have already ordered, so you don't have to worry about it. But, you know, if you're interested, there's still a sale going on paper, dies, and stamps until Sunday. So that's kind of pretty. I like that too. Again, really not using anything other than the brayer. I didn't spray it or anything. Willow. I haven't tried willow yet. I'll do this one. It's a kind of a grainy yellow, I guess. Ooh. It's just hard to see with that. That's the only one that's really done anything to the plate, though. That lemon or limeade. Really. Oh, there's some cat hair on there. Everything else hasn't really stained the plate at all. That's pretty. Now, the question is, how can we do that when we work on fabric? I think what I would do is I would get the print how I want it to be, and then I go to Spoonflower and try to have it printed on the fabric. It'd be more fun if I could actually print it directly, but I don't think it'll work with the alcohol ink. So that's okay, Sharon. If your budget doesn't allow any more, that's cool. Don't worry, there will be another sale eventually. Yeah, so yeah, fun stuff. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to call it a day, and thank you for joining me. And I hope that this has inspired you to try to see, maybe just play with something that you haven't played with in a while. Get out your gel plate, Sharon, and play with it if you can, and use some of those supplies that you haven't used in a while or that you've been curious about. Okay. So, and if you want, I'm going to put this on YouTube. You guys already watched it, but and then I have some, if you're on Instagram, check me out over there because I have some lives over there. But all my Instagram lives are also on YouTube. So everything's on YouTube. So thank you so much. Have a really good day. Have a good weekend.